stuck? Are you broke? If so, why? Why haven't you made any changes to live the life you want? It all comes from your daily habits, your routines, your thoughts, your actions. What's cool is that all of this can be changed quicker and easier than you think. Follow the steps mapped out in the habit formula and start to change your life today. Go to thehabitformula.com for more information.
Hey everybody, you know what time it is. It's lunchtime with the Habit Master. I'm your host, Dr. Stephanie Aldrich, and I help people change their bad habits. When you change your habits, you change your life. Today is Mommy Mondays, where we talk about things that we can improve ourselves on being a mom, and also tips and tricks to helping you guys and myself raise a smart, awesome adult, right? That's what being a mom's all about, is trying to get your kid over the finish line so they can pay for their own stuff, so they can move out of your house and fly out of the nest, right? So before I get started, I want to remind everybody, if you guys have been doing the envelope system with me, I think we started it, was it end of July or beginning of August, right? If you're putting $60 in your envelope every week, you should be up to $540. So this is your holiday spending stuff. If you start putting away money in your envelope, then you won't be in debt. If you got to put on a credit card, you won't be in debt for the holidays or starting 2020. You don't want to start 2020 off with a massive holiday credit card debt bill, right? So start the envelope system. Now I know next year we're going to start early, so we can just put like $20 a week and we'll get it before holidays. So if you're up to what we've been doing, I've been putting $60 a week in, we're up to $540, okay? That's not chump change, right? That's some good money. So make sure you know who you're going to be spending money on, how much you need. We're going to save up about a grand right before Thanksgiving so we can do our Black Friday shopping. Also, before I forget, grab a free copy of my book. It's called The Habit Formula, Life Success Equation. Go to thehabitformulabook.com. It will help you guys get unstuck and be able to hit the goals that you've been wanting to hit for years, but for some reason haven't been able to. So today is Mommy Monday, and we're going to talk about being chunky. Now, this goes for anybody out there that, has struggled with their weight. I know personally this is a subject that's personal to me. My family, on both sides of my family, it seemed like my dad's side of the family, they were always skinny and, could pretty much eat what they wanted, although they never really did eat much. But they were always thin and active. Now my mom's side, they were kind of more round than they were tall, kind of thing, right? So I know my sister and I, we've always struggled with our weight. And this is a subject that for me being a mom, I don't want my son, who's got it on both sides. My husband's side is pretty large people too, pretty round people. I don't want him to struggle with it. I want him to be able to control it and know what's good for him, what's not good for him, and you gotta live, you gotta enjoy a little bit of the bad stuff, a little bit of the junk food, that kind of stuff, but also know that he can control it and live a normal life. If you can keep your body strong, then the health issues that can creep up into adulthood pretty much decrease, and you can eliminate a lot of the stuff that, diabetes and heart disease and all that stuff that creeps in as we get older and our metabolism slows down, we're not as active, our body starts breaking down, we can't do as much, agility-wise that we used to. If we can control our weight early and not be considered chunky, then we can lead a successful and long adult life. So I'm going to go through some stats. I was looking up some stuff on WebMD and also the Mayo Clinic, and they said that 13 million kids, which is almost 1/3 of the population of children out there between the ages of, I think they say 2 and 19, are considered obese in the United States. Childhood obesity can lead to heart disease, diabetes, increase in high blood pressure, and also high cholesterol. These are things that can totally be eliminated from the projected future if we as parents take control of what we are doing with our children, their activity level, and what we're feeding them. The calorie intake and also the burn off of calories is a very, very important subject. Hispanics and African Americans have over half of all cases, and Asian kids have the lowest percentage. Now, when I look at this, I think a lot of this has to do with, the Asian diet is, they have a lot of broths, homemade broths. They're eating a lot of soup and that. So they kind of combine the rice noodle kind of thing with a lot of veggies and a lot of fresh fish, okay? They do eat a little bit of pork, but they do a lot of seafood too. And it seems like the combination of all of those things, they always have some kind of vegetable. Even if you're eating ramen or eating sushi, they combine vegetables, fresh fish, and a little bit of rice. And it seems like that diet, if you look at even the adult population, they have very few cases of heart disease and obesity and, different things that in the United States, we kind of, get into the high calorie, high carb kind of thing where we're eating a lot of processed stuff because we're not, everybody's working. We're not at home, slaving over the kitchen, the oven and cooking stuff all day. But what we have to realize is if we take some time out and focus some attention, especially being a mom. I know everybody out there is probably working, you're busy. I mean, I work. I work all the time. I'm busy. What I like to do is I like to make a big pot of something and then we're eating leftovers. Or if I call it Grillapalooza. So my husband will go to the store, he'll buy all kinds of meat, right? He'll get pork chops, he'll get burgers, chicken, all that stuff. And I do a Grillapalooza. So what I do is I go out and I cook all kinds of stuff on the grill. All of that stuff, we buy it in big bulk. And then we use a food saver. Food saver has really helped us to prepare our meals ahead of time. And then my husband will go and he'll portion out the meat. And then I go and freeze it. We have 2 deep freezers and I use them. They are filled to the max. So during the week after I work, right, I'm tired, I'm hungry. All I have to do is thaw the meat out. Either I set it out the morning before and then it's thawed out, by the time I get home, or just pop it in the microwave and it's ready to go. I make a quick vegetable and my family has a balanced meal, maybe a little salad on the side kind of thing. We have a balanced, nutritious meal. And that's how I deal with, we're not going through the fast food aisle or restaurant. We're not going through the drive-through. We're not getting pizza all the time. We're doing it correctly. And that's how, we're maintaining our weight. So I'm going to go over 5 ways that you can help your child lose weight and feel good about themselves and kind of set them up in a position where later on in life, they don't even have to worry about this stuff because we're building good habits. And that's what this show is all about. I talk every single day about something in our life that you can change your habits on. So if you are chunky, if you are overweight, if you think you can kind of, go through and change some of your eating habits or some of your lifestyle habits, stay tuned to this show today because we're going to go over 5 ways that you can help your child. And if you can do it, you can help your kid do it too. And then you could pass that trait on to generations to come. So the first way to help your child lose weight is don't call them fat. All people, and especially children, are very sensitive to what other people think about them. You're the mom. If you are calling them fat and you're lazy and you're this and you're that, the child is going to think that that's what they are because they trust you. You're the mom. You're supposed to be taking care of them, right? Don't call them fat. Encourage them. Love them no matter what. They're looking for unconditional love, unconditional support in everything that they do. You know as well as I do when they bring home an art project and you don't even know what it is because it's terrible kind of thing, right? You don't say, oh my God, this is terrible. You say, what is this? Oh, that's great. Yes, you're kind of lying to them, and is that right or wrong? Whatever. We're not going to get into ethics on this show. But you're encouraging them. I still can't draw anything. Even with a ruler, I can't draw a straight line. I can make a tooth out of anything because I've been taught how to do that over 20 years plus another 4 years of education, right? But I can't draw anything. I am terrible at it. Just be supportive, okay? Your kid's chunky, okay? You're probably chunky too because you're the one that's teaching them to be chunky. You can say, today is the day that we're going to start working on this. And it's a work in progress. I work on it every single day. I'm still a little bit overweight. I would love to still lose between 5 and 10 more pounds. I'm working on it. I'm trying to increase my muscle strength. That can help decrease any kind of fat reserves that are still on my body. It's a work in progress, okay? Nobody said you have to be a debutante, in 2 seconds, right? But whatever you do, encourage them. Be encouraging, be supportive in everything that you're going to do. Because today's the day that if you are into the chunky route, if you can be considered chunky, you can change today. Today can be your day. But you have to get your mentality around that. You got to be supportive and you got to be willing to say, hey, you know what? I am a little chunky and that's okay. We're going to work on it. Okay? So number 1 is don't call them fat. Be accepting and unconditionally love them. What you can also do is start talking to them about their health. Take them to the doctor. Every year we go to the doctor for just a regular checkup, whatever, the 8-year checkup or the 5-year checkup, do any kind of immunizations that he needs, whatever. Well, anyway, I always talk to the doctor in front of him. How is he doing? He's always like, 90th percentile height, but he also is, up there in the weight compared to other kids his age. But that's because he's such a tall kid. If you see my son, he's a pretty thin guy, okay? But he's heavy. He has muscle mass, But if your kid is short and he's more round than he is tall, then that's considered, chunky. That's considered obese. And you know what? You can control that. You can talk with the doctor and set up a plan in front of your child. Have them start discussing with you about their weight, about how they feel about themselves. A lot of kids, especially when they're getting into going to school, they're 8, 9, 10, 11, they know what other kids talk to them about. They know what they're being called. They know how they feel when other kids criticize them. So this is an easy way. Start bringing up things, okay? Start talking to them with their doctor about an easy solution to that, okay? And that's where number 2 comes into. Talk with them about their habits. Be nice if I can spell today. Ask them, hey, why don't you like broccoli? Maybe they love broccoli, but only if you put a certain seasoning on it, or maybe a cheese sauce or something. If they're going to eat broccoli and you put cheese sauce on it, put cheese sauce on it. Have them eat the broccoli, right? Maybe they hate bananas, but they love strawberries and, any kind of berry. Maybe they love kiwi. Maybe they love pineapple, but they hate this other stuff that you've been buying. That's why they're not eating it, because you're buying the wrong stuff. You're the mom. Start buying stuff that you like, but also that your kid likes, because if they like it, they're going to eat it, right? Start calming down on the junk food, the stuff that's high in carbs or high in salt or whatever it is. Start making fresh stuff, but you might have to tweak it a little bit, right? If they like ketchup on something or mustard on something or ranch dressing on vegetables, if they're going to eat carrots, you put a little dish of raw stuff out there, and they like to dip that stuff in the ranch dressing. Give them ranch dressing. They're gonna eat it. And the likelihood of them, wanting the other junk stuff is really gonna go down. Maybe they'll want it just for a little treat once in a while, but not, as their primary method of eating. Kids really do like different things, but sometimes, they need it prepared in a different way. So you got to figure that out. Ask them. Start talking with them. Why don't you like this? What can I do so that you do like this? If they like it with ranch dressing, go buy the ranch dressing so they can dip it in, and then have more of that available. Pack it in their lunch with a little thing of ranch dressing. They'll eat it at school. And the other kids will be like, yeah, they're eating some good stuff here, and they'll probably want to share it because the other kids will want it with ranch dressing too. Then they'll go home and say, hey, Mom, Bobby helped me today at lunch. He shared with me his broccoli, and I dipped it in ranch, and I really do like it. And the mom will be like, you liked it? And then she'll start, buying that stuff too. So, talk with them, communicate with them, especially the older that they get. You can tailor and weave yourself around this whole parenting, quest that you've put yourself into. You could be successful if you start talking with your kids. They're going to tell you what they want and they don't want. I know my kid, he was a really, really awesome eater until about the age of 3.5. And then he was a bear for the past few years. He only liked certain things. Now, he did like vegetables. We were lucky about that, but only certain ones. Okay, so that's the ones that I bought. He only liked a little bit of meat and loved any type of fruit. So, his diet was fruit, a little bit of meat, and some type of vegetable that he liked. Up until recently, he's been on a sushi kick lately. I love sushi. And I was like, my husband and I are like, yes, sushi's back on the table. Because him and I, we wouldn't go out very much. And, so we weren't eating a lot of sushi. But now he goes with us. And yes, there's certain things he likes and certain things he doesn't like. So what? That's the ones we get because we like almost everything. So, come on. It's an awesome thing. So that's number 2. Talk with them about it. Buy what they like, okay? Also, another thing to consider is maybe they're not getting enough food in their lunch. Or maybe not enough for breakfast. I know my kid, anytime he's talking about his legs aching and he's eating 50,000 things during the day, like I can't keep enough food in him, he's growing. He's burning it off. He needs more calories, right? But you got to watch what type of calories. I'm not putting a lot of carbs in him. I'm trying to increase the fiber and increase the protein because that's going to make him full. Now, I do the ketogenic diet. So for me, it's a lot of fiber and protein. It's low carb, but it's also high in fat. Fat makes you filled up, and it doesn't require a lot of fat, and also it keeps me from snacking all day. So sometimes I also introduce a little bit more fat into his diet, a fattier meat like a burger or some kind of sausage, and it fills him up. And I know he's not gaining any weight or anything like that. It's not bad for him. That's his primary source of calories. So you have to see what type of calories you're giving your child. Increase the fiber. That's going to be roughage. That's going to be not going through his system as much. It's going to make him feel full. The protein is going to help him build strong bones and muscle, right? But also decrease the carbohydrates. Daddy's going to burn up in 2 seconds. So kind of go maybe a little bit more fat, and the kid's not going to be eating as much. He's going to feel full, and he's not going to be snacking on the crap that increases his weight and considers him to be chunky. Okay? So make sure that you know, is he getting enough to eat, especially at lunch at school? And if not, maybe, put some ranch and some, more veggies, raw veggies in there. He's going to eat them, and he's going to feel fulfilled for the rest of the day. And he's not going to be eating snacks, 20,000 snacks when he gets home from lunch. Number 3, do things as a family. Increase family activities. This is going to help you get into shape if you're not into shape. And it's also going to show your kid that it's not a big deal. We can have fun losing some weight. We can have fun doing a sport together or an activity together. Go bowling together. Go fly some kites together. Go buy some bicycles and take them to the park. Or if you live in a little neighborhood, go and take a bike ride together. That shows them, hey, we're a family unit, we're supportive of each other, we care about each other, we're going to do some fun stuff together, and also we're going to lose some weight in the meantime, right? I know myself, I take Taekwondo with my son, so we go 2 to 3 times a week. I'm in the same class as him. They just divide us up into adults, so adults are, practicing with adults and fighting each other, and the kids are, they try to keep them around the same size. Age doesn't necessarily matter, but it's the same size, okay? And we have a blast together. And he sees that I care about being physically fit, that no matter how old you are, that as an adult, you can do the same activities as your kids. Okay, I'm a little bit slower. I'm not jumping around all over the place like he is, right? But he still sees that I am active, and that even though I'm quite, a bit older than him, that, I still care about things, and that him and I have something in common together. So start, if you guys like softball, go to the park and play some softball together. Go in your backyard and throw the frisbee around. Make it a time that maybe on the weekends you guys purposely go out together as a family, or get some of his friends together and, you do a pickup game or, something like that. But what it'll do is it increases the family activities together. It's going to help you guys get in better shape. It's going to get them into better shape. And you guys will do it together, which makes it so much more fun and so much more meaningful. Number 4, and this is obvious, decrease family butt time. What this means is get off your butt and start moving. Decrease the time that you're sitting on your butt, watching your iPad, watching Netflix, watching TV. Keep that for maybe at the end after homework's done, everybody's taking their showers or baths, and it's time to kind of wind down before bed. That's a great time to relax. But right after dinner, or before dinner, and you're not doing homework or something, let's be active for a little bit. Let's go do something, right? Go bowling, go, throw the frisbee outside. Do something that gets you guys off your butt and kind of start moving, or go do some errands. You got to go grocery shopping. You're still walking around the supermarket, right? Go to the mall, do a little shopping. You're still walking around a little bit. They're excited because they get to look at different stuff, and maybe they'll get something. But you also get them active and off their butt, not playing the video games. They're out there doing stuff, right? And the last one we're going to talk about is, what am I going to say? Don't buy the stuff. Don't buy junk food. Yeah, a little bit's okay. I mean, we have a little bit, but I know if we have it, I get into it too because I love it. I love the chips. I love any kind of chocolatey, brownie, cookie kind of thing, right? If I don't have it in the house, then I don't need it, right? I'll make my ketogenic stuff, my low carb stuff, and that's what I tend to eat. But if Noah has, a little bit of junk food in the house for his lunch, then I know I'm going to get into it too. So if you decrease the amount of junk food that you do have in your house, out of sight, out of mind, right? Then they're not going to get into it. They're not going to think that that's what they should be eating, okay? Or you just reserve that stuff. Put it away somewhere. Put it up high. Put it in a locked cupboard if you have to. If your kid can't stay out of it. And keep that just as a snack, just as a treat, just as something that they could have in their lunch, okay, at school. You can also start introducing new types of foods to them, okay? Everybody should be able to try one bite of everything. I do that in my household. It never worked up until this past year, and then all of a sudden my kid's like, yeah, I really do like that. And then he's like, can I have more? And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm falling off my chair. I can't believe it. Start introducing. Don't think that it's too late to introduce stuff to your kid, especially the older they get. Their palates change. They're going to want to try different stuff, but if you just assume that they don't like it, how will they ever know, right? My kid's eating sushi. It's like, oh my God, where did you think about that? Because we took him there one time and he tried it and he's like, oh, he really liked it. And I'm like, yes, sushi's back on the table. So don't assume that your kid's not going to like something just because he's a kid, right? Introduce him. Everybody has to take one bite. That should be the rule in your house. Take one bite. If you don't like it yet, then you don't have to have it after that. At least taste it and see if you like it. I have friends that I have one friend that her husband's parents never gave him vegetables, never gave him salad, never gave him anything that they didn't think he would like. Now he's in his 40s. He's overweight. He has an issue with his weight and his health because all he eats is meat and potatoes. He doesn't even eat spaghetti. He doesn't even eat any kind of like pizza or anything like that. But he doesn't eat salad. He doesn't eat any kind of vegetable. It's meat and potatoes. And now he's suffering for it because his parents didn't introduce him to those foods at all. And now he has zero taste for it and he won't even try anything because he just automatically thinks it's in his head, that's his mindset, that he's not going to like anything other than meat and potatoes, right? Don't have that be your child, especially if they're chunky. You got to start introducing good stuff to them. I know that they're going to start liking it. It's just how do you prepare it? And, do they have a choice between junk food and this other stuff? If they have the choice, they're going to gravitate towards the junk food. But if they don't have the choice because you're not buying the stuff, you're reserving it for a treat, you're reserving it for just their lunch, you're putting it away. If you got to lock it up for a little while, you got to lock it up, whatever. But then you're introducing them to good stuff. And you'll be surprised at how quickly your child starts losing weight, starts being more active because everybody's doing it and it's just a lifestyle. It's not that you're acting like you're healthier. You are being healthier. You are just doing it and being it and living it. And your child's going to pick up on that. And that's what, building a great habit in your child is all about. It's repeated action over time. So if you're like, taste this, taste this, taste this, taste this, at some point they're going to be like, oh my God, this is awesome. I like to dip it in this, or I like it like this. Great. Then you as the parent will put a little note in your memory deck and say, okay, they like this. We're going to keep giving them this way. Okay? So I hope this helps you guys today. Let's quickly go over, if you are chunky or your child's chunky, 5 ways that they can lose weight and start being more active. Number 1, don't call them fat. Be supportive. Maybe get their doctor on board and talk with them about, how they feel about their weight and what they think that they can do about it, what they like, what they don't like. Number 2, talk to them about their habits. If they really do like carrot sticks, but they like to to put them in, dip them in ranch dressing, buy that for them. They do like it like that. If they don't like something, if they're not getting enough food, you need to know as a parent how to switch things around, right? Increase their fiber, increase their protein, decrease the simple sugars and the carbs that will make them chunky, right? Number 3, increase family activities. So do things as a family. Go ride some bikes together. Go play some ball. We take Taekwondo together. Go do an activity together that they can have fun with the family, but also see you putting in an effort, and then they're going to want to put in an effort. So increase family activities. Number 4, decrease butt time. Get rid of the TV, the Netflix, the video games, the iPads, the phones, whatever. Don't, keep that for at the end of the night when everybody's about ready to go to bed. It's after bath or shower time, and we're trying to, just calm down. That's the best time for butt time. That's the best time to watch stuff. But between, getting off of work, after dinner, and butt time, it's time to be active. Go to the grocery store. Go do an errand. Go for a walk. Go ride the bike. Do something that's active to get your kid working. Obviously they have a little bit of homework or something like that. That's okay. You can have butt time for that. But you also have to get them outside or get them doing some kind of activity. So you don't want them to be watching TV on their butt for 5 hours before bed. Okay? And the last thing to help your kid lose weight, and obviously you too if you're in the chunky category, don't buy the junk food. If you don't buy it, out of sight, out of mind. Okay? If they see nutritious stuff in there, that's what they're going to gravitate towards because that's all that there is to eat. If you want a little junk food, keep it stashed somewhere where they're not getting into it whenever they feel like it. Make it either a treat or something special for just their lunch. Okay? And when it is during the lunch, you're introducing it a little bit sooner during the day, the chances of them burning that off increase because you're giving them more time to burn that off. And it's not, right before bed and they're eating, a donut or something, right? That's when they're going to be going to sleep, and those extra calories they're not going to be able to burn off because they're going to bed. So I hope this helps everybody. Remember to check us out on YouTube at the Habit Master channel. Please subscribe. There's tons of other videos on there that I'm actually working on this afternoon to upload. Every Saturday, Sunday, there's a new video that pops up other than these Lunchtime with the Habit Master episodes. Also, if you're a podcast person, check us out on iTunes and Spotify. You can upload Lunchtime with the Habit Master episodes so you don't miss any of the videos. Okay? So I hope that everybody gets a free copy. If you want to change your habits, being the mommy, being the parent, you got to change yourself first, and then you can change your kid. Go to thehabitformulabook.com and grab yourself a free copy. So that's it for me today. Thanks for watching, and let's build good habits together. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 1 o'clock for Tooth Tuesday. See you soon.